洗头发就感觉自己头发好像下面没有一样。
Hello. Trade of the day, US dollar coin. When all your cryptos are crashing, at least I'm getting paid 9% on my crypto. That's the trade of the day. That's my humble opinion. Stupid birds ruining my TikTok live stream. Let me hit up Nerd. Yeah, your hair is so beautiful. Do I do day trading? No.
Never looked into cybersecurity. Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey, so crypto crashed, but I'm still getting $68 of interest on my stable coin.
Hey, yeah, so price of stablecoin remains stable, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's $1. So
Yeah.
when I got this, I think I had like $10,000 of stable coin. So
Wait, why do you only have 10K? Most of it is a
so I put in more money now. I think I have like 20,000. But what's dope is the crypto market crashed. So because the crypto market crashed, I took out of my stable coins and I started buying the crypto dip.
Bitcoin. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. Oh, that's super cool.
And the only stuff I'm buying is like I bought a little Polkadot, I bought a little Chainlink, bought a little Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I don't really touch any other crap coins.
I see. So you buy by market cap, right? I remember. It's a smart
Yeah,
play.
it's got to be like in the top 10, top 20. I don't buy. I mean, I bought a little bit of Doge as a joke, and I obviously like lost my pants now. But I'm still gonna hold my Doge to the moon,
Doge's
baby. Like
What's
16
Doge's
cents. I think it
price?
recovered, but
68 cents or
it
16 cents?
was no, it was like 16 cents. I have to look at a graph to show you.
Well, whatever. Dogecoin's graph, if you look at it from inception, is like amazing. Like it literally looks like it's trailing off all the time. So.
But all those crypto investors, if they had stocks, they could actually have liquidity to buy the dip. Like everyone gets screwed in crypto because if you're only in crypto, you can't borrow on your crypto and you have to worry about margin calls. For me, like I have a Robinhood and I have like, I don't know, $80,000-$90,000 of buying power. So obviously as the price started, dipping, I just put in orders and the orders execute. And I don't have the cash, but I'm paying 2.5% interest. And I'm not obviously not going crazy on margin, huh?
It's funny, like what you just said, because it feels like so let's say you have a margin for Interactive Brokers, right? And you pull it out in cash, and then you do the same thing for what was it again? The V brokerage.
You can also do Robinhood. There's a bunch of them, but people are like, you can borrow on your crypto, but I don't think they've ever done a real crypto loan because I've done one with BlockFi, and you have to be really careful about the margin calls. Because I did what is it?
Right.
So I got a BlockFi loan when crypto was like $58,000, right? So I got a $10,000 loan. I had to put down $50,000 of crypto collateral at a $58,000 Bitcoin price. And I would have got margin called. If you think about it, if I did anything other than what is that? Because that's like the lowest risk is putting down 80% collateral on your loan.
Right.
But imagine instead I put down only $20,000 to get a $10,000 loan. I would have been margin called. I would have basically, they would have sold like half of my Bitcoin at like stupid low prices. And that's why everyone's like, oh, you can borrow crypto. And it's like, yeah, you can borrow crypto and you can get a fat margin call. But with your stocks, so, you don't have to worry about it.
So let's say you do this instead. So instead of buying like Bitcoin or Ethereum, let's say you just bought the stable coin. Could you margin off the stable coin?
No, there's no margin on stable coins. That's why crypto right now is a crap investment class compared to stocks. And I was so glad when this bull market was going crazy. I mean, I was buying some Bitcoin, but most of my money, because my crypto was going up so crazy, I was like, all right, I'm not going to buy any more crypto, or I'm going to buy like not that much. And I kept buying stocks knowing, okay, whenever there's this crash, when it's going to come, I don't have to sell my stocks. I can use my stocks as collateral to pick up cryptos on the cheap. Yeah. Right. Yeah, borrow at 1% interest, borrow $66,000 for $36 a month,
Yeah, I mean, look.
Easy money. Money. And I do.
That's what's good about allocations, right? Because when you have like good allocations, you can just maintain it. You can sell maybe even a portion of your stocks since, they're still pretty at all.
But see, I don't have to sell my stocks. That's what's even more gangster. Why would I sell my stocks? That's the problem with crypto, and like people don't get it. People are like, "Oh, don't get margin. Margin's bad for you." But like, look, I literally bought 4,000, maybe 5,000 of crypto this morning, and it didn't cost me any money. I just go on my Robinhood, buy, or limit orders, right? The limit orders execute for me automatically. And the fact I don't have to sell anything, I don't have to pull any cash out, and most of my buying was done on Robinhood. So my interest is 2.5%. And so when I'm buying Bitcoin at 30,000 or 28,000, maybe it goes down, maybe, right? But long term, since I do believe we'll have $100,000 Bitcoin, I'll pay that 2.5% interest. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but you can't do that. You can't do that if you just have a bunch of cryptos. You can't do that at all.
Right. You're basically stuck in a rut.
There's no liquidity.
Yeah.
There's no liquidity.
Yeah. But that's good. So, yeah, I mean, the thing about asset allocation is when something dips, you sell you could sell or you could margin out your assets on the other side and just maintain your position on the other side by buying the dips, right? So I'm sure, the percentage of crypto on your portfolio drop and you're just buying to maintain it at the same percentage.
Yeah. And with Robinhood, it's so easy. I know a lot of people talk smack, but I mean, the problem is with the stable coins. So I use Voyager, but I don't buy that much on Voyager because I have to take money out of my stable coins and put it on a limit order. You obviously know what a limit order is, right?
Right.
So that's the issue. So like, let's just say I want to buy $200,000, or let's just say I want to buy $1,000 of crypto. I have to unstake it so I don't get interest, and then I have 100,000, or let's just say I have $1,000 sitting there not getting any interest, and I have to wait for the limit order to hit, right?
I see that. So it's basically like.
But with Robinhood, I don't have to do that because Robinhood gives me that 2.5% margin, and then obviously I can just pull cash out of my Interactive Brokers after the orders hit, because it immediately just charges me the margin. Then I can pull cash out of my Interactive Brokers and pay down my Robinhood, even though the difference between 2.5% and 1% for like a month is like pennies.
Marginal.
It's like $30, right? It's like $30. But that's the problem with Voyager and these other crypto exchanges is you can put money on their exchange to buy stuff. But the problem is then it's got to be real cash. You have to have cash ready to go, and you don't get any interest on that cash. So if I wanted to buy a crypto dip, I would have to have $2,000 of cash giving me zero interest. So to get around it, I buy everything on Robinhood, and once again, I'm able to do this because I bought a bunch of crypto in the past. Because remember, you can't remove the crypto off Robinhood. But for me, it's worth it because I'm able to buy at any time, and I don't have to worry about pulling cash and moving it off of my I'd rather get 9% on my cash and not have to worry about moving cash here to buy cash there.
Hey, Ryan Finance says hello. He says 2 kings. I didn't know you guys were buddies too. That's funny.
Yeah.
Dude, we should all do like a finance thing. Like I'm telling you, you should be Cena Finance, man. Change your name.
No, man. I don't sell out. I'm Cena Dean. I don't change my name. I'm Cena Dean. I don't need to do any of that. I'm too gangster, okay?
Gotcha. How's everything else though?
Well, hey, Annie, say hi. Say hi.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Annie, did you buy any stocks?
Today?
Or crypto?
No.
No, Annie didn't. I did.
I sold some.
Annie sold some stocks.
What'd she sell?
Annie, what did you sell? Did you sell some Fubo? Because Fubo went up. Okay, Annie sold some of that Fubo.
I have a lot.
Yeah, I haven't been buying anything or selling anything. I've just been riding the market.
People are asking me, but I bought basically $4,000 that I didn't even have. I bought $4,000 of crypto this morning at 2.5% interest. And the best part is they're limit orders. So I didn't even have to physically buy. I mean, I still did some like manual orders, but a lot of it was my limit orders that got hit. So as each limit order got hit, I wasn't even paying attention. You know, I was just buying the dip, and it didn't require any cash. And I didn't have to sell any stocks. I didn't have to rebalance my portfolio. It was all just done on margin.
Nice. Nice.
People want to talk about this Torch thing. It's another meme stock. Have you heard of Torch? TRCH? No. It's like another GameStop.
Oh, really? Like these? So they're like a gaming retailer?
No, it's like an oil and gas company, but somehow they did a short squeeze on it.
Oh,
it went up 100%.
Oh, that's funny. When you talked about it, I thought it was like in the same sector and industry. Like, no. It's a meme stock.
No, another.
Basically, just a lot of volume being driven up, right? You know, all these meme stocks, whether it's like AMC, GameStop, like they all have similarities with Bitcoin, right? Like it's all driven by money coming in and out. Like if there's a lot of demand coming in, it's a limited amount, skyrockets.
So I didn't
diluting people.
Yeah, people are asking me, did I need cash to buy it? No, I don't. My cash is my stocks. So not only are my stocks paying me dividends and going up in value, I'm using them as collateral to buy crypto when crypto is cheap. That's why Robinhood is gangster. And one day you guys will learn. One day you guys will figure all this out and be like, whoa, this guy had some good ideas.
What is the benefit of having like a Robinhood as well as the Interactive Brokers?
So the problem with Voyager, Coinbase, all of these, the problem is you have to put physical cash in order to buy it. So if I wanted to buy $4,000 of crypto when this crash happened, or if I want to set a limit order, let's say I set a limit order, $4,000 of limit orders, I have to pull physical cash out and put it in my Coinbase, put it in my Voyager, and I can't stake it. I can't get that 9% interest. But with Robinhood, because I'm buying it on margin, I use zero cash. I basically have, a $200,000 stock portfolio that they'll give me, $100,000 to buy whatever I want.
Right. But why don't you just do it with Interactive Brokers? Why do you have to touch?
You can't buy crypto. I can't put limit orders to buy Bitcoin on Interactive Brokers. Yeah. So what I do is let's just say I have $40,000 of margin debt.
Hey, they're changing that. They're changing that. So Interactive Brokers, real quick, is they're going to allow you to buy crypto this summer.
I know.
I saw. Oh, you saw it. You saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. So when that happens, I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but when it happens, I'll do it. But so what I do is now, let's just say hypothetically I have $40,000 of margin debt on Robinhood, and I have $60,000 on Interactive Brokers. Well, I can just pull $40,000 of margin on Interactive Brokers and then go to zero margin on Robinhood. So then I'd have zero and I'd have, $100,000. So that's how I basically pay off my 2.5% loan. But I don't have to do it right away. I just do it whenever it's convenient. It's not,
Right.
And then people are asking me, how do you pay the $100,000 you took out? So in order for me to get a $100,000 loan, I have $200,000 of stock. And I'm hoping that my $200,000 of stock grow faster than what is that, 1%?
Right.
So every year I pay $1,000 of interest. So as long as my $200,000 portfolio is growing faster than $1,000 of interest, I don't have to pay it back. I can sell stocks when I think stocks are overvalued to pay down some of my margin debt, which I'll do. Whenever we hit all-time highs, I usually sell some stocks to just, knock down my margin debt.
Well, what I heard, though, is with Interactive Brokers, if let's say they do a margin call, they'll sell your stock for you. They'll liquidate it for you if you don't do anything.
Yeah, it's the same with Robinhood, and it's the same with, what's it called? Blockify. if I get a margin call on my Bitcoin, they'll sell it. And the thing that stinks about a margin call is they sell it at like the absolute bottom. Yeah, you can use the dividends. Right. What people don't realize too is like, let's just say I took a $100,000 margin loan and I'm paying $1,000 of interest. If my $100,000 of stocks pay $5,000 of dividend, boom, my $5,000 of dividend have already offset my margin debt. And so someone's asking me, where do you get the margin? So I use 3 platforms. I use Robinhood, M1 Finance, Interactive Brokers. Once again, it's 2.5% Robinhood, 2% M1 Finance, 1% Interactive Brokers. So eventually I'm actually going to start selling my stocks on Robinhood and M1 Finance, and use that cash to buy more on Interactive Broker. So slowly I'm going to, I mean, I might just transfer my entire M1 Finance portfolio. Oh, what is this?
Gotcha.
That's
Nick
a good
Invest
one.
says hello. Oh yeah, I got this from Nick Invest. So
yeah, exactly. Government prints money, inflation devalues currency, assets, stocks, crypto, and real estate inflate. Those with assets retain their wealth. Those without assets lose their wealth. Rich get richer, poor get poorer. But the one thing that this thing doesn't talk about is that the really rich, smart people, they can borrow. They also borrow for really cheap. They borrow at like 2.5% to buy real estate. You know, they borrow at 1% to buy stocks. I borrowed at 2.5% to buy some Bitcoin this morning and some Ethereum off of Robinhood.
Yeah, it's
and I bought Doge. I bought Doge this morning on margin, just a little bit for fun, you know.
Right.
So
a little risk, a little spice.
I'm just gonna sell it. I mean, the only reason I bought it was like, okay, I know that Doge moves with the other crypto markets, and if it keeps crashing, I'm gonna buy it, and then just as soon as there's an uptick, I'm gonna get rid of all my Doge. But I'm not looking to hold my Doge long term.
So, why do you hate Dogecoin? Or why do you?
It's a joke. It makes fun of crypto, and it just shows how speculative and stupid it is. But to be honest, I have nothing against Doge. I think that it makes people interested in investing. So if it gets you to invest, that's totally fine. And then if people are asking me, I'm going to look into M1 Finance and Interactive Brokers. You can click on my profile link. A lot of these investments I talk about, you can literally just click on my profile link, and I have a link tree to like all of these.
M1 Finance. That sounds like if you're into the dollar cost average mindset. Like the best way. Like just shove your direct deposit in there, and then like whatever you need to spend, you can borrow it out. Something like that.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. But I don't like M1 Finance. I prefer.
That's what I told my sister. I told my sister to do that because that's how.
Yeah. No, M1 Finance is good for beginners and people that don't want to deal with buying and selling. But for me, like I like buying and selling. Right. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's funny because people still don't understand how margin works. Because people are like, "When do you have to pay back the loan?" It's not a traditional loan. This is not like a it's not like a traditional stock, and it's just so hard for people to understand. And that's why I keep telling them, man, you just got to go get your own margin account to figure it out. But it's a credit line. It's like a home equity. Well, it's like a home equity line of credit, right?
Well, the difference between a home equity loan or a line of credit is you don't get margin calls for those, right? Just because the real estate drops, you're not going to get a margin call off them. So that's the main difference. Margin calls are like a huge, like it's okay to go on margin when prices are cheap.
But I thought the financial crisis, when we had the financial crisis, wasn't that an issue where people had to short sell their properties because the prices went down and they were negative on their property, and the bank was like, either give us collateral or we'll short sell the home?
So that's not a margin call. What happened is they were underwater. So people were underwater, and they just decided like, okay, since my monthly payment is the value of the house is worth less than than what I paid for it, than what my loan is, I'm just not going to pay the loan. And then they just basically got their property foreclosed. They'd lived there for like a year and a half for free. destroy their credit, and then when they get evicted, they just move on, rent something else, or
That's
something like
terrible.
that.
That is
Well, I mean, it's
terrible.
terrible, but dude, so when we were going through the last housing crisis, I suggested that to my mom. I was like, okay, so we're underwater in this property. You have $50,000 in debt. Let's just not pay the 50,000. File for bankruptcy. Um, don't pay the
Live in the
mortgage, and
house
then
for
just
like a year and a half, 2 years, and not have to pay the property tax. Yeah,
yeah,
not
yeah. Well,
not
I mean,
paying is
yeah,
actually.
it would have been a smart move, and there are some people who did it. Now, my mom, obviously, she had
Did I tell you,
character,
by
so
the
she was
way?
like,
So my house caught on fire, and I did the
right,
forbearance.
right,
Thank God, dude. This forbearance is gangster. And so my
wow,
credit went from like an 820 to an 810,
yeah,
and right now I
well,
don't have to pay
hardly,
two. Yeah, it went down only 10 points, and I don't have to pay two mortgages. So I went from having to pay $5,000 of mortgages to zero, and I guess it's
good
good
stuff.
for a year, and hopefully I'll be able to
Okay.
modify.
Oh,
And by
okay.
the way,
So
the
loan
forbearance doesn't
modification,
destroy your credit. Yeah, like I'm gonna try to do a loan mod. So like basically this new forbearance that the government has introduced has made it
right?
like really awesome because think about it, people that went through the financial crisis in 2008, there's no forbearance. Your credit got destroyed.
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that because I did. So I did my parents' this loan modification in 2010. I really had nothing to do when I was in college, so I did the loan modification for them.
Can you tell me about
So
your experience? What do? You call the lender and you just wait back? Can you go through the process of a loan mod?
so I filled out the paperwork. I wrote them a letter. I told them about everything that's happening badly in life and how we just needed time. Now, I don't know if you heard about this, but I think at the time we were lent money by Bank of America. So Bank of America was our lender. And there was news articles saying that only a few people were accepted for loan modifications, right? We were one of them. And I think it's because of the letter I wrote. Like, like back then,
How much of a loan mod? How
our
much
story
money?
was so so we didn't reduce the amount of money that we borrowed, but the rates went all the way down to like 1%. So we paid 1% rate for like a very long time.
Wow. For how long? How
Mm-hmm.
many years?
So 1% for like maybe 5 years, and then it would
Nice.
go, and then it would go up by like 1% every year, and then it would cap at 4.5. So obviously we
Wow.
kept that sucker. We kept that. So this happened in 2008, and we kept that sucker until maybe recently. I don't know. We must have modified it twice actually. I think we refinanced it in 2000. So we did we refinanced it twice in the last year because because of rates. But I can't remember if we refinanced in between 2011 to now, or like to 2019. So
By the
hard to say,
way,
but
people are doing forbearances on your student loans. Definitely, man. If you can do a forbearance, it's smart.
yeah. Well, I mean, not if you're going to school right now,
But
right? So if you're going to school, you don't
hopefully,
want to go for.
oh yeah. But I was gonna say that hopefully, if you're gonna do the forbearance, then you're doing smart things with the money you're saving. You know, if you do a forbearance and then you go buy, I don't know, like lotto scratchers,
Appreciating cards.
then maybe
Yeah.
you should be paying your student loans. But
I just recently saw a documentary on lottery tickets and how they break down like how the funds get distributed. Apparently, only half go to the prizes, because 18% goes to the retailer, and then like 35% goes to like other fees, state tax, federal tax, and then 50% is what goes to the actual winner. And then from that 50%, so let's say you bought a ticket for $1, only 50 cents would go to the actual person who wins the lottery, and then from there it still gets cut because you have to pay federal tax state tax. Well, first it gets cut in half because you're choosing between an annuity payment 29 years from now, on a yearly basis versus upfront a lump sum. So whatever the prize is, so if it's like $1 billion, if you take the lump sum, it's 500 million, and then that 500 million gets taxed at around 50%. So if you won $1 billion, you'd really be just getting like maybe 250 million
wow.
net. I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
and that's just the actual winnings. The fact that they made more money. So if the prize is $1 billion, it's because they sold over $2 billion worth of tickets.
Wow.
Right? I know. It was a good documentary.
What's funny is people get mad when I'm like, hey, use like margin to buy stocks. And they're like, oh, this is terrible. Right. This is gambling. And it's like, what? Our government allows people to buy lotto scratchers. And it's like, that's way worse than, taking out a 2% loan to buy investments,
Well, I think stocks are speculative right now. They're trading at high multiples.
You get zero with a lotto. With a lotto ticket, you get zero money back. With a stock, you might lose 10, 20, 30%, but you're not going to get zero.
Right. So that the present value of a lotto, depending on the prize, because the bigger the jackpot prize, the more likely you are to come out positive net present value on your bet. When the jackpot is like for the majority of the jackpots, it's usually a negative payment, negative present value proposition. Not for stocks though. There's usually some value, but it's going to be either very small in the long run. Where markets are, maybe the long-term return maybe just 4%, for the next 10 years or something like that, just because everything's elevated.
People are asking me, what's my net worth? So they should first ask you, what's your net worth? What, you have the exact amount, right?
Well, yeah. So as of last month is like 578K. But I know you've got millions.
He has a bigger net worth than me when I started my MBA. I definitely did not have a net worth of $500,000 when I started my MBA. So he's
I'm older than you though. I was older than you though by like 6 years or 8 years.
Yeah.
So you were 24 when you finished. That's insane.
When I started, 2011. Oh, when I started.
Oh, I see. I gotcha.
Yeah, I started in 2011. I finished in 2015.
Okay. I finished UCLA in 2011. So that's the work started. That's when I finished. What's up, guys? Ninja loans were definitely the worst thing to happen in lending. Yeah, it's true.
Someone's asked, can you use margin if you have the cash sitting in the account for buying power? Need to be in stocks. No, Interactive Brokers, if you have enough cash, I believe they'll actually show a higher buying power than just your cash, but it really depends on what stocks you buy, right? Because there's certain stocks, Torch, right? Like AMC, they're not going to give you a margin loan, if you buy crappy stocks, you're going to get zero margin. But if you buy a quality stock like Apple or Amazon, they'll give you 75%.
Hey, so I had 2 questions for you.
Before you ask me those 2 questions, people also wanted to ask about the Chinese loan. So after these 2 questions, I will talk about the Chinese loan. Go for it.
Right. So for Interactive Brokers, you mentioned the stock yield enhancement.
Yeah.
How much do you actually generate? Minimum. So how much do you drop versus how much do you collect in
So as long as you don't do any options, you don't do any of the other stuff, it's 4.5% of whatever the value of your portfolio is. So I have about 200 grand in Interactive Brokers. So I'll get about 0.5% on my 200 grand.
So it's consistent though. So whatever, if you get 200 million, like 200,000 of Apple or 200,000 of some small, you're saying that the yield program is the same.
4.5% for most stocks. No. It's 4.5% for some stocks. They don't pay. So if it's like a crap stock, certain stocks. So once again, like 4.5%.
So it varies.
Yeah, it varies. 4.5 is like a good average, and it's paid monthly. Not like you don't have to wait a year to get paid on it. They pay you monthly.
So that's actually pretty good return, right?
4.5% for doing nothing.
Yeah.
People here are buying cryptos. That's what I'm saying. Like cryptos are a joke right now. Cryptos suck compared to stocks. But
well,
one day, cryptos will catch up. One day cryptos will be better. And like obviously when you're in a crazy like, when cryptos are going to the moon, obviously cryptos are more attractive than stocks, but that's not, that's like usually these bull markets in crypto, it's like 2 months, 3 months, and then there's a really bad crash. so it is what it is.
So second question. So for your Voyager account, you own the stable coin, right? And then they pay you interest on that stable coin. How are you paid? Are you paid in the actual stable coin, or are you paid in
I'm paid I'm paid in the USDC, but whenever I feel like it, I can convert $68.33 into actual dollars and then transfer that to my account. There's no
who's
like,
actually
fluctuation.
Right. Huh? Who exactly is borrowing from you? So like let's say you bought USDC. Who's borrowing from
USDC? So those it's the entire crypto universe, because once you have USDC, that can be converted into Tether, it can be converted into Bitcoin. So anyone in the world can borrow that USDC and then they can convert it into whatever currency they want.
So let's walk through the process. So let's say I have $1 million, right? I have $1 million. I give it to Voyager. I buy USDC. Who's getting that $1 million?
Voyager gets the $1 million.
So Voyager gets the $1 million, and then what do they do with the $1 million? So now they
convert it.
So now I gave them $1 million. So they have $1 million on their hands right now.
They create the USDC stablecoin, and then either they lend that USDC stablecoin or they convert that USDC stablecoin into other cryptos and they lend those cryptos out.
So let's go through that slowly. So let's say you have $1 million. They have $1 million in cash, and then they decide to convert it to they issue out USDC, right? With those with that $1 million backing it. So that $1 million's deposited somewhere now. They issue out USDC.
Yeah, but I know for a fact though, the reason they can pay you 9% is they do the fractional reserve. So when you give them $1 million, I'm more than certain that they don't create just $1 million. They do the fractional reserve banking where they create 3 million or 4 million or whatever the hell their reserve requirements are. That's the only way they can pay you the 9%. So
yeah, that's really what I was getting to. I was like,
no.
This is money.
No, but they're doing exactly what the Fed does. Yeah, they're doing exactly what the Fed does. And if they regulate it, if they regulate it, crypto prices will probably come down. But because it's not regulated right now, basically you can do the Fugazi, and that's why they'll pay you 9%, because when you give them $1 million, they're probably going to create like $2 million, $3 million, $4 million and lend that out. And they just hope that not everyone asks for their USDC to come back into dollars at the same time, or there'll be a bank run.
Right. No. All right. Back in the day, I don't know. I think it was 2000. I don't know. I can't remember if it was pre-crisis or if it was post-crisis. The 2009 crisis, but money market funds supposedly went below $1. Money market funds is probably what stablecoin is, right?
Probably.
And that went negative for a little bit. So it's never experienced anything like that before.
So it's happened to Tether. Tether's price, periodically, will be less than $1. Occasionally, one Tether will be 98 cents, and then sometimes one Tether will be $1.02. But the cool thing about USDC, because it's regulated or it's held by Gemini, you don't have to deal with it. And it's the same with the Gemini dollar. There's no volatility with the Gemini dollar. You just convert your Gemini dollar for $1. But the reason why Tether is like that, it's because Tether has the most access to all these different exchanges around the world. So it's once it's converted into Tether, because like if you want to convert it into US dollar coin, that means people that have Voyager can only borrow the US dollar coin, right? If you convert it into Gemini dollar, people that are in like the network of Gemini, they're the only people that can borrow. But once it's converted to Tether, people from India, people like literally there's hundreds of exchanges that accept Tether. And I would call Tether. Tether is like the casino chip that's accepted everywhere. It's that $1 casino chip, and occasionally it's 98 cents, and occasionally it's a dollar too. But yeah.
Okay.
I think Dodge will go back to 30 cents. Yeah, if you hold it, but at the same time, if I hold a lot of Bitcoin and Ethereum, if you don't hold any Bitcoin and Ethereum, you should sell your Doge and buy some Bitcoin and Ethereum. You like diversify. What do you think of one day the New York Stock Exchange will be operated on blockchain? What do you think about that?
I don't know. But if you do that, then maybe crypto has value then. But crypto doesn't do that now, so I don't know why you're paying that price.
Yeah. So can we talk about my Chinese loan now? I feel like everyone wants me to talk about that Chinese loan.
Shoot your shot, sir.
I mean, all you guys need to know is that I got $1 million without having to co-sign the loan. My business basically qualified for the loan, which is pretty like awesome because like now that I'm getting older, I don't really care about my credit anymore. It's like I kind of learned that like you don't need credit. You can use your business and you can use stocks, and it's way better. There's no credit check. There's none of that. So if you guys have bad credit, you should highly, highly consider learning how to invest in stocks and obviously maybe starting a business in the future because you don't have to repay credit. Your business can be the credit. My business is real estate investing. So yeah, that's my business. It's a bunch of homes. What's your business? You're just a financial planner, correct?
No. Research.
Oh, okay. What can you? No, you don't need $25,000 to do margin trading. Everyone here with $2,000, and if you have no clue what you're doing, don't put in more than $1,000 until you figure out what you're doing, and then when you get more comfortable, increase it. But everyone here should learn how to borrow on margin, just to move the cash around to different accounts, and just experiment with $2,000. Now you'll eventually do it one day in the future, and you'll thank me later.
Dude, that's what I these margin loans that pull it out in cash, and
can you tell
what you do when you use it?
Well, can you tell people how you're making your student loan tax deductible? Can you to my audience about your student?
Yeah, so student loans, there's requirements, right? I'm not so certain what those income requirements are, but I think they can go as high as 140K for people that are married. Now, even though you can reach even though you're below that 140K limit, I think there's a max on what you can deduct. You can only deduct around $2,000 per year, but is a lot depending on the interest rate. If you're borrowing at 1%, 1% interest of $2,000 is $200,000. Like you can get a $200,000 loan.
Getting a zero deduction on your student loan. Zero.
There you go. Yeah. No, but for people, especially post MBA, you're not going to get a deduction because you're going to be way above that income level.
Yeah. And by the way, someone's like, I have 12 grand on Robinhood, so all you do is turn on Robinhood Gold. Robinhood Gold is literally one of the best $5 you'll ever spend. And
is that
you want to get your $5 back? If you do want to get the $5 back, just take your $1,000, put it in a stable coin, and you'll hypothetically get 9% back, right? And so that will pay for your $5 of Robinhood Gold. because you'll be getting, what is that, like $8 back or something like that.
Hey, they say you get free Morningstar, right? If you go to Gold, you
Yeah,
get free Morningstar.
yeah.
Reports.
I have. Yep. Yeah, Robinhood Gold is awesome, man. Like literally, I really, really hope that, because like obviously, if Interactive Brokers catches up and becomes easier to use and it offers crypto, I obviously prefer that people learn off of Interactive Brokers. But if you don't want to, the next closest thing to Interactive Brokers is Robinhood.
Yeah, look, for me, I might be switching over to Interactive Brokers. I use Fidelity because I use it as a I use it as a bank. Like I use it as my bank. I use it as my retirement accounts. I have a credit card there that gives me 2% cash back. And now I just want the Interactive Brokers because of the margin loan.
Yep.
The juicy margin loan.
Yep. So financial planners are not reactive. They're proactive. Or no, they're reactive. They're not proactive. I agree. And then so someone is asking, what should they do with 50K? So like a friend of a friend. So if a friend of a friend asked you, I got 50K, what would I do? If it was me, I mean, I don't know if you can say anything, but what I would do is just put it in the stable coin and get your 9%. And then just basically what I would do is I would dollar cost average. If you have $50,000, I would put $50,000 into my Voyager account and get my 9%. And then I would only take out $5,000 a month unless there's a big crash. If there's a big crash, maybe you take out 10,000 and then you just dollar cost average and you want to buy stuff that's cheap. Every stock that someone asks me, like 90% are stocks that went up like 40%, like Torch, right? When someone recommends that stock that went up 40%, you miss the boat. You want to buy the stock that's like Coinbase right now. Coinbase is a good buy, right? Coinbase at like $200. It was 212 at one point.
That's crazy. If you annualize the first quarter's performance, that's trading at like maybe 15 to 17x.
Yeah, no one hit me up. Someone wants to know. So I was looking to do a $50,000 real estate investment, and I haven't found anyone to partner with. Maybe Nerd Finance. Do you want to? Do you need a real estate partner?
No, I don't invest in like real estate like with me as an operator. Like I do it through like CrowdStreet.
I know, but when do you want to have control of it? Like when do you want to actually start? We can start our own CrowdStreet instead of giving it to CrowdStreet and letting them make all the money. When do you want to become a big boy and buy your own property and we start our own CrowdStreet?
So that would make sense. Like the perfect time for that to happen. The environment would need to have low prices, which isn't the case. Low rates, which is the case. But yeah, I really don't want to like overpay for real estate right now. Like whether it's single family or slightly bigger multifamily, I just don't think that they have good prices. Now, if you look at the apartments, which is like commercial real estate, they have better cap rates. I mean, their cap rates are worse off historically, but the cap rates are still like 4%, 4.5%, versus most single family or multifamily you see, they're gonna have like in California or Los Angeles, they're gonna be closer to like 1 or 2%, or maybe even less than that. To be honest, 2% is probably the cap rate.
So someone asked me, can you live off of the investments you bought on margin? Yeah, I could. If I had a portfolio, let me just make a hypothetical portfolio. If I had a hypothetical portfolio of, I think I would need, let's just say $500,000, 500K, right? As long as I can keep my living expenses, and so I would have to pull probably like 5%. So I guess I would have to live off of 25 grand. If you had a portfolio that was 500K and you're not going to add any money, and instead every year you're going to pull out $25,000 of margin debt at 1% interest, do you think you could retire off of that, Nerd Finance? Or does it need to be bigger? Does it need to be like $1 million?
I need 55K of your tax dollars. I think if I were to retire, I could bring that number down to 45K, maybe K, because I'll obviously get rid of my car. Like we'll probably just live off one car. And we just cut more expenses, right? Because working actually expenses. You have to pay for insurance, pay for maintenance, get ready, buy a lot of stuff. Like it's more costly when you have a job, but you could easily cut back, move to a lower cost living. So there's many things to do to cut costs. But if you live in LA, 55K. That's what I say. Minimum 55K. Like I'm cheap and I have to spend 55K.
So I would need a $1.2 million portfolio, and I would borrow $60,000 a year, and I would pay $36 a month with Interactive Brokers. So there you go. I would need a $1.2 million stock portfolio, and every year I would be borrowing $60,000 on it. What's up, Murray?
Right. And just
how we doing? That question, Roach, because he's like trying to understand what Interactive Brokers is. The best is the question someone asked me: where do I find Interactive Brokers? Thinking it was like a plural thing. I'm like, man, oh man, people do not use Google. They ask questions. They don't use Google.
Wait, it's plural? I thought it was plural, but they thought it was an actual like.
No, they thought they're like, where can I find loans from Interactive Brokers? And I'm like, it's called margin. I should just call it margin. I shouldn't call it loan, so that people can
understand. Yeah, and it makes sense because there's a large difference, right? Margin is very.
But hey, hold on. It's like someone's like laughing my butt off. Kids are your expense. But hold on, if you live in California and you got zero income, your kids are free. You can get food stamps, you can get health care. Like, you can stretch your child expenses pretty well.
Do you really? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I've never lived below poverty, so I wouldn't.
So you for sure get food stamps, which is like $300 of free groceries. You can probably get Section 8 housing, because once again, I mean, if you're literally showing zero income, I guess if you had a $1.2 million stock portfolio, you would have some sort of dividend income. But that dividend income should hypothetically be less than like 20,000 or 30,000. So literally, you guys are laughing. The $1.2 million stock portfolio could probably get free healthcare, get free food, could get subsidized rent. So yeah, you could be spending very, very little money, but you have to deal with the government. The problem is all these subsidies is you knowing how to like go online and apply, deal with all the BS.
Yeah, but I don't think
you could have $10 million. You could have $10 million in stocks, and as long as your income is like under 40,000 a year, you could get free housing, free healthcare, free groceries. It's a joke. The government needs.
I don't think people would really do that though. I don't think there's.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah, they do. Are you kidding me? Go to Newport Beach.
Oh, you know,
go to Newport Beach. Oh yeah, rich business owners. Yeah, they use those subsidies so they don't have to pay for their kids' colleges. Like the kids will go apply for like the government loans because their parents on paper don't make any money, but then they have like a $5 million house in Newport. I've seen people at pavilions.
So loans and so I was able to receive like a ton of scholarships, right? Well, actually, my parents were poor at that time, like really poor, so I deserved it. But if you're doing it, like I don't think that you could easily get food stamps though. That's not easy to get.
It's all online. It's online, man. So I have a guy who runs Airbnb. He runs an Airbnb, right, in California. And the way he makes most of his money is he just finds people that are deadbeats and says, hey, like you're a deadbeat. You just need to apply online to this like website. And he gets like an unemployment or disability money. He'll get like a Section 8 house. That takes a lot longer. So like that doesn't happen right away. But anyways, he figured it out where he'll find all these deadbeats and make them share a room. He'll get like 4 bunk beds, put them all in there and basically get all their subsidies. And he literally will then come to like me and be like, yo, can I sell you like EBT cards? And I'm like, no, bro, you got to go like, so he's got all these like EBT cards that he's like trying to like scout because they're using it as part of their rent payment or some bullshit.
But isn't that illegal to sell those?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Those
it is. So you
EBTs?
get in trouble.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Like I was like,
yep. And it,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was like asking me, and I'm like, bro, I'm just your fucking landlord. I am not, you know, and I actually ended up stop renting to him. But yeah, no, it's crazy what you can do.
No, but you said that
it's not a felony
so
though. Someone's saying it's a felony. It's not a felony. You just have to pay fees. If they catch you selling your EBT stuff, they just make you basically pay it back plus like a penalty. It's not a felony.
Yeah, I know that because some girl when in elementary school, some girl was selling her like food stamps for like candy.
Cash,
so I would
right?
give her candy.
Yeah.
She'd give me food stamps, but I would write my name into food stamps like an idiot. And they caught on, and they're like, "Dude, you're not supposed to be getting like free food from the cafeteria." And so
what happened? What happened to me is I was going to like a Ralph's, like a self checkout, and literally a guy came right before I paid, and he's like, "Hey, if you will give me basically half, I'll right now pay for it with my EBT card." And I was like, "No, bro, I'm good." But it was like a good deal because I had like $10 of groceries that I was gonna buy, and he was like, "Yo," give me $5, and I'll right now pay for your groceries. And he was just like waiting, and obviously I said no, and then so he just went to someone else, and someone agreed. And that's how he was able to get cash, and like that's going to drugs, and it was probably not even his EBT card, but yeah.
Government should just give drugs directly. No, I'm just kidding.
No, they should. It's stupid, and they could tax it and regulate it,
Cut the
and then
middle
you don't
man.
have to. Exactly. I mean, they did it with marijuana. Think about all the tax revenue that's created, and now like no Mexican cartels can profit off of marijuana. So it's stupid.
Right,
I mean, they did it with alcohol. It didn't work with alcohol, and now they tax alcohol and make a ton of money. It didn't work with marijuana, and now in the states that are smart enough, they tax it. But I just feel like every government subsidy should be like on an app. I think it's so stupid that like you have to go to this website or go to that website. It should literally just be an app that like links to your bank account, and it's like boom, boom, boom. You just check, and then you don't need like a crazy bureaucracy. The problem is right now the way the government's set up, like no one wants to get fired. So they create this crazy bureaucracy when it could all be automated and it could all just be an app. Like, here you go, blah, 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 blah. But the government doesn't want to cut their own jobs. That's the problem.
Right. They want to keep government big. Hey, but I gotta book it. It's been nice.
Yeah, I gotta book it too. So no, it was good talking to you too. I actually was gonna tell you that like 10 minutes or 15 minutes ago. But like, yeah, dude, it's so easy to talk to you, and like every time I talk to you, man, like I really appreciate it. I learn a lot, and hopefully my audience can learn from you. And since you're on Interactive Brokers, can I now push people? Because I get the same people asking me questions about Interactive Brokers. Can I just say, hey, follow Nerd Finance? He's now on Interactive Brokers. He can answer your questions.
Well, so I have a friend who I convinced to sign up for Interactive Brokers years ago when they were still they were the cheapest commission, right? They were like selling for $1. But now I'm asking him questions. So I'm not really an expert. I'm just getting started. And it's because I'm getting, lots of funds coming in, student loans, and I'm allocating all my cash into one, and then I'm just going to put like, I don't know, something like 130K into the account right off the bat, and then pull out a margin loan.
Have you done the stablecoin yet? Have you done your stablecoin experiment? $100 Voyager? Never? Never? Wow. Okay.
Well,
that's cool.
Well, it just doesn't make sense to me, man. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean,
someone's like Interactive Brokers is pleased with you, but to be honest, I'm helping everyone here get rich, right? Like if you understand how Interactive Brokers works, I'm not loyal to Interactive Brokers. There might be like, I don't know, a Robinhood broker
as a referral. You get a $200.
I know, but I don't think I've gotten it. I've gotten a lot more from Voyager. I don't think I've gotten any, like, I don't know. They don't email you that you got the payment or something, but maybe.
Oh, I gotcha.
But I'll let you go, man. I don't want to.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Later. All right, hold on. Let me fix the volume. Wait, hold on. Is the volume okay? Because I'm using a headset. So, by the way, you guys see? I should say this is sponsored. By the way, do not give money to Apple or Google or Samsung. I bought these Skull Candy. These are Skull Candy, $69 at Walmart. Do not waste money. Do not give $200 to Apple when you can buy Skull Candies. And I obviously don't get paid, but you know me, man. I'm cheap as F. Yeah, the catch is $100. Thank you, Michael. Michael keeps this live stream going. The only reason I'm going to continue this live stream is because I got Michael here to help answer questions when people get mad that I don't answer their questions. But you should try it. Everyone here should try it. If you put $100 in, you'll be able to get it. Yeah, but why give $100 to Samsung when you can give $60 to Skull Candy? Huh? And the voice quality is pretty good, guys, right? I live for these lives. I always appreciate the full. No problem. Yeah, but what I like about Michael is he actually then like answers other people's questions. That's what's like for me. I like that. So you have to have $100 minimum balance to get paid the 9%. Here, I'll change it. If you guys haven't done it yet, definitely do it. Price prediction for Matic, Link, Cake, and Dot. I don't know. Yeah, okay, so I could probably live off of my investments that I bought on margin, but I'd need a portfolio of like, oh, I got someone asking to talk to me. All right, I'll try this. Let's see. What's up?
Hi.
This is why I don't. Yeah, you get your $100 back. It's like a savings account. So once you put the $100 in there, as long as your $100 stays an average for a month, you'll get not only $100 back, but if you leave it there for a year, you'll get $9 of interest. There you go. There you go. Thank you, Michael. Michael, you're the man. Yeah. I like Ethereum. I like that portfolio. Let's give a shout out. So I like Ethereum. I like Bitcoin. I like Matic. I like Link. I don't like Cake. I don't know about Cake. And I like Polkadot. But that portfolio is not a bad, I like the Link. It just needs Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. Thank you. But remember, you can't just use my link. You have to actually type in the referral code CIN849. No, I haven't done any research on the Hashgraph product. Yeah, there you go, free. And by the way, everyone here, you need to refer other people. You know that, like, look at this. $25 of free Bitcoin, $25 of free Bitcoin. Like, sometimes I'll get $100 of free Bitcoin on a live stream. So everyone here that has a Voyager, you guys have a referral code. You should highly consider signing up other people. And if you're too poor to buy Bitcoin, just sign people up and you'll get free Bitcoin. 4 people gets you $100 of Bitcoin. So if you can do 4 people a day, you can hypothetically get $3,000 of free Bitcoin. I wouldn't go all in and I would dollar cost average. I think I talked about this. If you had $70,000 of cash, I would take out $7,000 and do it in $7,000 increments. And I would try not to spend more than $7,000 a month because you're already getting 9% on the rest of the money. So I would rather average in unless it's like a crazy dip. And I wouldn't just buy Ethereum. I would buy Bitcoin and I would probably buy some other altcoins. But if you want to go all in Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can. I don't know if I would only buy Ethereum. I love Chipotle. There you go. Did you get your $75? You got 3 buddies to sign up. Hey, drop your sign up code too. If you want, use his code. Since he's answering all the questions, drop your referral code. You don't have to move it. As long as it sits there, they pay you interest. You just have to have a minimum. There's like a minimum balance you have to use. Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of my alts. It's too late now. The next alt season, I'll probably sell more of my alts. But for now, I just want to hold like top 10, top 20. I feel like if I use margin, I won't be able to do anything since I need to pay it back. Yeah, you just got to change your mindset. It's not like you don't technically owe them any money because your stocks are worth more than the loan. And there's no like hurting your credit. If I have $10,000 of stock and I take a $5,000 margin loan, the worst thing that will happen is they just sell the $10,000 of stock to cover the $5,000. But there's no bankruptcies, there's no like dings on your credit. So it's pretty awesome. All right, let's see if some random people want to talk. And then I gotta go to the pool. Yeah, you could ask me questions. So hey, you guys, how can you live off of it? Because we made a hypothetical thing. If I have $1 million, I feel very comfortable that my $1 million portfolio will grow faster than $50,000 a year. So if I had $1 million Interactive Brokers account, I would feel very comfortable pulling out $50,000 a year of margin debt. Because by the time I get to, let's just say, $500,000, which would be 10 years later, I'm pretty confident that my $1 million portfolio would be worth maybe 2 million or 3 million. So even though I owe $500,000 of margin debt, it's now a $3 million portfolio. So let's go down that rabbit hole, okay? Let's just say I have $1 million portfolio, and over 10 years, I borrow $500,000, $50,000 a year. So at the end of the 10 years, I owe $500,000 of margin plus 1%. So I would owe $500,000 50, right? So I would owe $550,000, right? But in 10 years, if my $1 million portfolio is not 2 million, I'm obviously doing something wrong. And if you look at the stock market historically, especially over a 10-year period, you should be hopefully doubling, if not tripling. So if it does triple, let's just say I pick really good stocks, that means I'll have a $3 million portfolio and I'll only owe 500. So I'll have basically $2.4 million of stocks, even though I was borrowing and I was never buying any new stocks. Yeah, you got to buy good quality stocks. But does that story make sense where your $1 million portfolio, hypothetically, let's just not make it crazy. Let's just say it becomes worth $2 million. So over 10 years, your $1 million portfolio is now worth $2 million, but now you owe $550,000. So that means your $1 million portfolio is now worth $1.45 million, even though you took out $500,000 of margin debt. What's the worst case scenario? A crazy crash, you get a margin call, and then they sell 1% of your portfolio to cover the loan. So let's just say I owe $500,000 and my $2 million stock portfolio crashes, right? And let's say it goes so bad that they might sell 200 grand of my stocks to pay off some of that debt. So hypothetically, I should still have some stocks and I'll have some debt. But there's a possibility now that I don't have $1 million of stock. I'll have only 800,000 or 700,000. But it's just really hard to see the future with a margin call like that because our government just bails big corporations out. I mean, when Apple and Amazon had the coronavirus, like Apple went down 25% and Amazon went down 20%, and then immediately the government gave them billions of dollars. So if that's like the new future where stocks really don't crash because if it's a big company with a lot of jobs, the government will just give it money to bail it out, you're not taking a lot of risk, right? Like this new future of America where, the American government can just print more money to bail out big companies, you're not taking the same risk that like people in the 1930s took. The people in the 1930s, there was no bailouts, you know? Even in 2008. I mean, I guess 2008 there was a bailout, but I don't know. Think about but the 1939 or what is it? The 1927 stock market crash, right? That's like an actual where the stock market went down like 80%. But that was back in the day when, you know, they don't print infinite money. I just don't see a future where the government is not going to just print money to bail out, you know, the stock market. So, exactly. All right, guys, I got to go to the jacuzzi. So I'm going to end the live stream and then I'm just going to start a live stream on my other phone. So I don't know if I'll get all 20 of you guys back, but I'm gonna come back on because I gotta walk over to the jacuzzi and I'm gonna see if these are supposed to be waterproof. So we'll see. Let me actually Google that right now before I go. These are supposed to be waterproof. So if they're waterproof, I can basically sit in my jacuzzi and live stream and not have to worry about it. All right, let's see if this is waterproof. All right, I'm gonna switch over to my other live stream. So here we go, guys. We'll see how it goes.